j'ai envoyé.
Oh,
On continue.
Okay. We can talk about that later. Sorry, my microphone. Hold on, I'm trying to get my microphone working. Sorry, I'm trying to get my microphone working. So that's it. Okay, very good. All right. Let's start with reading. Today we're going to talk about a book review on happiness, and then what? Okay. And then after this exercise, I'm going to send you. We're going to talk about the different types of questions to expect for writing task 1, so that you're prepared. And I'm also going to send you tasks on those ones. Alors, demain, on n'a pas cours. Tout ce que tu as écrit, je vais réviser et je vais aussi envoyer plus de devoirs aujourd'hui, juste pour ajouter. Alors, je vais réviser demain. D'accord?
Okay.
All right. So, send you something. I'm going to add some more lights because it's very dark here. That's not enough. That's better, but it's coming from the wrong angle. Oopsie. How about that? Okay, it's a lot better. So today we're talking about the IELTS reading and IELTS writing and the different kinds of questions to expect for IELTS writing. Usually there are 7 types of questions to expect for IELTS writing. So I'm looking for something as I speak, so I just want to be ready when my student is ready. Okay. Let me just be done with this and then I'll get to our discussion. Yeah. So I've given her tasks on. Hi. So we're talking about IELTS. In case you're not interested, you don't have to worry. I'll still post more movies and I'll try to post more French and Spanish movies from time to time. And I have avocado on my face in case you're confused. Thank you. Take care. I'm trying to get content for my student. So as I was saying earlier, talking about the 7 types of 7 types of questions you can expect for IELTS writing. We have here bar chart, line graph, table chart, pie chart, process diagram, map, and multiple graphs. So people usually just say 6, but if you include multiple graphs, you have 7. If you're just joining and you're confused, I have avocado on my face. This is a 9 p.m. class, and I'm cutting my routine when I have avocado, not every time, but my night routine usually stuff on my face, sometimes too much olive oil. So let's talk about the different kinds of questions. For bar charts or bar graphs, they're very common, and you could have your data vertically or horizontally, and you'll be asked to summarize the information that is given on the graph. Just summarize the information. It's like putting the picture into words. Let me put this on my color here. It's like putting the picture into words. Then for line graph, you'll also be asked to summarize the information, to put the picture into words. If you understand a line graph, if you don't know what a line graph is, you'll go on Google and check out what a line graph is. So it's like a graph, but instead of those bars, you see some curves or just some movement of lines. So then also table, as you've seen in some IELTS listening as well as some IELTS reading, we've already come across tables, but here we have to summarize the information on the table, and you've got to try to use 150 words minimum. Did your network log you off earlier? Tu étais en ligne? Ah, ok. Mais tu as presque fini? Ok, je t'attends. So you have to use at least 150 words. Remember, the goal is for you to sound like a native and to use different, a blend of complex and simple sentences, and try not to repeat one expression too many times, because then it just means you don't have a rich repertoire of words to use and you're just struggling with these few words that you know, and that's going to affect your score. The fourth type we're going to look at is pie chart. If you remember clearly, we've talked about the bar chart, the line graph, the table. Now we're talking about pie chart. Like, you understand what a pizza is. We have pies, okay? So the pie chart is that circle that has a different, it's split into different parts that explain different things. I wonder if I can show you my screen now, but maybe later. And then you have to summarize the information, you know, and then if it's one pie chart, they'll just tell you to summarize the information. If it's 2 or 3 pie charts, they'll tell you to make comparisons where relevant. So you have to be very observant and know when it's necessary to make comparisons. Also, the next one is process diagram. Now this should be one of the easiest. They're all very easy, in fact. For process diagram, you have to look carefully, or let me just say it's one of the most interesting, because you're looking at step by step of processes, and then you're being asked to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features, and then you talk. If it's two pictures like I see here, you'll be asked to make comparisons where relevant. If it's just one picture, you will have to explain the process. So you will see a point de départ, that's the starting point, or what you will call the raw material, and then you also see the finished product, that's the final product. and you will be asked to describe the process. Okay, so in some questions you will be asked to describe the process. In some other questions they will just tell you summarize the information, which is just a way of saying describe this process in the picture, because what is in the picture is really just a process. Don't be confused. You will be it will be very clear where the starting point is. Now for maps, as you've seen in your reading comprehension and your listening comprehension, there have been maps, as if you've been practicing, and then there will be maps where you have to say, okay, point, this place labeled A is so and so place. And now you will be given a map, and this time you are writing. You're not just listening, you're not just reading, you're not just receiving information. Now you're the one giving information. So they'll tell you summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features. So you will then have to look at the map of the building, the floor plan, and then start just writing about what you see and directions to get to different places. Or you could just say, oh, the boss's office is right next to the coffee room. I don't know, just depending on what you see there. And the seventh type is called multiple graphs, where, for example, you've been given more than one type of diagram, and usually two, usually not more than two. For example, in what I'm looking at, there's a pie chart and a table, and you have to give information from the two of them. They usually include two diagrams, such as a bar chart and a line graph, or a pie chart and a table. And here you're being asked to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make a comparison where relevant. So you're just going to look at it and say, oh, and don't be afraid, the pie chart has color codes, and the color codes by the side, they just give you a key and tell you what each color represents. So you don't have to be lost when it comes to that part. I'll be going to YouTube now to probably say the same thing. Or that before I leave, I should talk about the marking criteria. It's task achievement, cohesion, coherence, lexical resource or vocabulary, grammatical range, and accuracy. So grammar is very important. If you stick around today, you'll see us practicing grammar. Unfortunately, you can't see the screen because this is someone's session. So she's getting the full service. And if you want to just sit down and listen and use your mind to picture what the question is, that would be very good. So yeah, I should go to YouTube now. Thank you so much for joining today's reading. So that's why my student isn't ready yet, and that's why I've had the time to talk. Take care, and I wish you all the best and a beautiful night. Bye.